My name is James. I'm a 35-year-old Sagittarius from the Bronx, and today is August 20th, 2004. Today we're just walking around asking people to define their meaning of love.
Until you've seen the dawn through searching eyes, you don't know what love is. That's what love is.
How you doing? What's your name?
William Rothline.
William Rothline, have you ever been in love?
Yes, I have.
Really? And what was that feeling like for you?
Oh, incredible, intense, powerful. You're really walking on air in heaven.
In heaven.
Everything is beautiful. And I feel beautiful right now because the camera's on, and I love the camera. I'm in love with the camera.
Are you currently in love with anyone?
Yes. Well, in love or love? I love people, but certain people I love. In love? No, not in love. Not in love right now. Not in the ether, you know? That high, that unbelievable high that totally paralyzes you. No.
So can you ever say that you ever have been in love?
Oh yes, I have. Definitely I have been in love. And I look forward to it again.
What's it like? What does it feel like to be in love? What
does it feel like?
Yes. I mean, as opposed to say right now.
Oh, feels like you have a purpose, something, an anchor, something to hold you, something to live for. It kind of totally eradicates reality in a sense, and you're in reality, but the reality is like a fantasy almost. It's unreal, and it's not really healthy to feel that way for too long. It's good for a little while, and then after you come down, back to reality.
What you're saying, the people stagnate, right?
You like what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. We'd like to hear. What you're saying, after 2-3 years of being in love continuously.
Well, 2-3 years, that's a long run.
It is a long run.
It's a long run, 2-3 years.
What was the longest you've ever been in love?
The longest? I think probably the longest is maybe about that, 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
2-3 years.
I heard there's somewhat of an average statistic says that people cannot sustain love more than 2-3 years.
Well,
why do you think so?
That kind of love, because it's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, you're walking around in a dream. You got to face hard facts of living.
But isn't it
you can't live on love. You can't live on love. You can't live on love. Other things too. So what happens is something else replaces that feeling, something heavier, more powerful, deeper. You hope.
But you always crave for love.
Crave?
Yeah, you always want love in your life.
Of course, we want that kind of love that we've experienced when we were babies, children. That love, that unconditional love, no matter what. You can't go wrong. You can't do anything wrong. Love is there. Love. Affection, love. Latin women have captured my soul. Latin women.
What is that little thing that?
The fire.
Yeah.
The fire. The fire.
The fire.
The fire. The passion. The fire within. You know.
You're talking about
le feu follet.
You're talking about spiritual love or physical love?
Physical.
When it's actually
physical,
sex.
Spiritual, everything. It's total. It's complete.
Sex is completely different when you're on love, is it?
Well, of course, it's more intense.
From just regular.
It's not just lust.
Lust, yeah.
It's not just lust.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Tony.
Tony, and where you from?
Chicago.
Mind telling us your age?
23.
23. Have you ever been in love?
Honestly, the only thing I'm really in love with is my hip-hop music, and I love my mother till she passed away. You know what I'm saying? That's about it.
What does love mean to you?
Love to me means dedication, faith, persistence, overcoming resistance at all times, loyalty, being focused and being able to stand fast and not stumble. That's what love means to me.
Do you think in the future there's a chance for you to fall in love in a different kind of love that you have for your mother?
I don't think I'd fall in love, not the way ladies are today. It's like if you ain't got nothing and you're trying to get something, they don't want to be bothered, but when you get something, here they come, so that's why it's just me and my girlfriend.
But so you're not looking for love right now?
I wouldn't mind having it, but it's always like, it kills me. It's like the good women, they always get the bums, and they'll leave me standing there. You know, I see ladies, you know, they'll talk to Joe Blow, but I'm a musician. I got my own album, and it's like they'll walk past me like, you know. So I'm just focused on what I have to do, you know.
Do you consider yourself an outgoing person?
Of course.
So you think that makes it easier for you to find someone you can fall in love with?
It might, if I just so happen to run into her and we're on the same plane or the same mental level. Other than that,
You said ladies are not the same anymore. What do you think changed them?
money and all the yuppies,
Materialism, right?
materialistic. Yeah, you can say that.
So what's a way to change that? I mean, you would want the loveliness of the world to be back, right?
Right.
People to be open and
I think, not to get too deep, I think media has a lot to do with it. Hollywood has a lot to do with it, and the financial status nowadays has a lot to do with everything, you know. Because I remember back in the days, you know, you could have on your Levi's and your Converse and you breakdance, whatever, you was cool. Now you gotta have a car, the money, the house, and all this, you know. And if you don't have that, they don't think of you as man enough, because it's a Western world, it's a westernized mind, you know.
So you think the society's making it difficult for people to fall in love?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about money now. Every time you look around, it's all about what you got. I mean, it's not about who you are, how you think, or how you carry yourself, or what are your goals and ambitions. You know, it's all about what do you have now to give me. It's like a me game. Everybody's all in for themselves. They don't look at the next person and be like, okay, she may be pretty, but let me see where her mind's at. Or he may be attractive, let me see where his mind's at. It's all about, where's his bank account? Does he stay on Park Avenue? Or I'm from Chicago, or the Gold Coast by Oprah Winfrey or something like that. So it's all messed up.
So what do you think that you can do to reach out to people so that they can get to see the real you instead of basing their opinion on something materialistic?
Well, I try to talk to people and get people to understand and overstand me as a person, but nowadays people don't really want to, you know, hear that. It's all about what they see right then and there. It's like a microwave. You pop it in and take it out, you know?
So what do you think that society can do to change?
They can get rid of all this materialism, all this materialistic crap, because it's no good. I mean, soon we're going to walk around with all this Botox and stuff. We're going to be dumb and I don't know what, not know what to do with our body parts. I mean, for real. I mean, everybody's all blowing up and it's just crazy. know?
So for you, do you think it's important to be in love or to find love?
Yeah, I mean, everybody needs somebody. I'm a firm believer in that, but it's like if you offer a person a hand, they'll slap your hand away. You know what I'm saying? And then it's hard because not only people don't want to get hurt, but it's always like the good people get hurt. You know what I'm saying? And people don't trust. Like, I don't trust women at all because I see how they are. You go out, you chill, you talk to them. Some guy walks past, she'll start a conversation with him, and I feel that's totally disrespectful. You know, like if I'm talking to somebody and somebody butts in our conversation out, at least say excuse me. And women, they just go ahead and keep yapping. You know, and that's totally disrespectful. And then they complain about, oh, I can't find a good man, but the good man is always there. You just afraid to talk to him because of what your friend's going to say. Instead of being woman enough to stand up for who you are, you worried about your friends and your peers. That's not good. That's not a woman. That's a little girl.
So do you think love, so you're saying like love starts from within first?
Yeah. In order to love somebody else, my oldest sister always told me, in order to love somebody else, you have to love yourself first. I can't say I got love for my homeboy, or I got love for my girl, or I got love for this or that person, you know, unless I love myself first. You know what I'm saying? It comes from within. If you don't respect yourself, who else is going to respect you? You got to stand up for something, because if you don't, you'll fall for anything. So you got to love yourself and keep a strong back, keep a strong backside, you know?
Tell us about your music.
My music, Ghetto Ambition Volume 1, is basically, people always talk about, oh, I'm tired of the hood and all this. Well, I go against the grain. You know, my music is basically, if you're all into the bling bling thing, I'm against that. The name of my team is BCP, Broke Cat Posse, or Broke Cats with Prestige. And basically what I'm about is anything that's materialistic, I kill that, because there's too many kids growing up, and they see the stuff on TV and they want to imitate it. I left home at 16 seeing the same thing. When I hit the streets, I seen it wasn't what I thought it was. Now I'm doing what I have to do. You see what I'm saying? We all make mistakes, but I try to stop a problem before it starts. That's why my name is Mr. Morphine. I'm here to kill that pain because a lot of people go through pain right now, you know? So I'm here to try to alleviate that one way or the other, you know?
Do you think that pain comes from not having enough love, or not being loved, or not loving themselves first?
Not loving themselves and
Where
me
does
not...
that pain originate?
Really? It started with my mom. She married this Nigerian guy, and he wasn't no good, and he took her life when I was 7. And, you know, ever since then, I always see women with the wrong guys, and it's like, you know, I mean, I may have dropped out of high school or whatever, but I am doing things to get that in order, you know, and I am taking care of other things, but it's like, you know, it just kills me. Why is it the good person is always defecated on, and the bad person gets away with the princess? I don't understand that.
Are you shy when it comes to women?
No, I'm not shy. You know, I ask them in the door, like, yo, how you doing? Good afternoon. And even in Manhattan, you say good afternoon to them. Oh, I got a man. I just say good afternoon. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to get that. I don't want nothing from you. I would rather masturbate than be bothered with a woman, honestly, because it's too much crap. It saves me money, and I don't have to, you know, it's all about this, yeah, you know, we're doing sushi today. I don't have time for sushi. Give me a 40 ounce of the beef patty. You know, accept me for who I am. You know, and they don't want to do that.
So do you think people will have to get to know each other before they can accept each other for who they are? Or does love just happen spontaneously?
It can happen spontaneously, especially on my grandmother and grandfather, even though they're gone, rest in peace. But it can, but I think it's good to get to know somebody, because you can meet somebody today and it's all peaches and cream, and tomorrow it's rotten sardines, you know what I'm saying? So you gotta like, because today people are tricky, man. It's like everybody has a psychological thing going on with them. So you gotta like really analyze people's psyche before you start dealing with them. You don't want to get a hold of a Lorena Bobbitt, if you know what I mean.
Do you challenge yourself at times to try to get to know people?
Yeah, I always like sometimes I find it like a challenge. Like I'll go up to Park Avenue or whatever, and I'll introduce myself to people. Or if they see the boombox, they're like, "Oh, what's that?" And I tell them, you know, I like to, you know, take high stakes, you know, and that's just me. You know, I came to New York, a suicide kamikaze move. And I'm about to go to Miami, but that's just me, you know. Life is full of adventure, and I'm gonna live it. I have no kids, so I can...
Okay, state your name.
Celeste Monsoon.
Celeste, and where are you from?
I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx.
Mind telling us your age?
I am 44 years young.
44 years old from the Bronx.
Yes.
So what is love to you?
Oh, love can be a wonderful feeling if it's true, if it's from the heart, if it's all natural. But if it's fake, you know, it's hard to know when love is true and pure. I haven't had a pure, true, loving experience with a man, but I've had loving experiences with my family, with my children. That's natural and pure. So you can't fake the real love, you know.
Are you currently in love?
No, I'm learning to love myself. So once I love myself, I'm sure the romantic love will come to me.
Have you ever been romantically in love?
One-sided, yes.
One-sided? What does that mean? One-sided?
That means it wasn't reciprocated. I was the one giving love and not receiving it back.
So it was like a one-way street?
Yes, it was. It was. And it was very hurtful that way. When you found out that the other person wasn't feeling the same love, it was very hurtful. It was destroying me. So love is a powerful emotion. It can build you and make you feel wonderful, but it can also destroy you. You know, it's such a strong emotion. So it can nourish you or destroy you, really bring you down if someone takes advantage of love. A lot of people take advantage of love, which is unfortunate. It's not, or they abuse it. They say, oh, I love this, I love fruit, I love people. And they're taking advantage of what the true meaning of love is.
So okay, so you think it's a different kind of love that you share with your kids?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That is unconditional. It's just comes natural. To love somebody romantically, you have to be trusting. You know, you have to you let all your guards down. You have to be vulnerable, ready to just give of yourself and not expect anything in return. Then that's true love. But
why do you think people have a need to love?
this love, it's a need. It's what makes us go around. Love is what made us who we are. You know, we had to make love to become who we are. To be, what do you call it? Procreate. That is where love comes from. So we're here to nurture. You can't nurture without love. I hope that explains why we have a need for it. You know, without it, we wouldn't exist, I think.
Do you think there's hope for everyone to fall in love and to be in love?
There is hope. You just have to drop fear. Yes, there is hope. There is hope. Everybody can love if they weren't so fearful of each other, fearful of expressing a deep inner emotion. It comes from your soul. Everybody yearns for it, wants it. You want to feel good about being in love, feeling that feeling. We'll get there if we just wasn't so afraid of each other and afraid of feeling.
So you think part of it is just like a need to be accepted by somebody?
Absolutely. To accept your flaws, that other part of you that nobody knows about, that you don't even know about. you know. I get nervous now.
Why do you think there is fear?
Why is there fear associated with love?
Yeah, I mean, why do people fear in order to fall in love? You said
because they're afraid of getting hurt, afraid of somebody knowing their innermost feelings of themselves. They're afraid that, oh man, you're gonna find out that I'm not so cool. I'm not that person on the outside. I'm vulnerable. I'm softy. I'm not so strong. And when you know that about me, you may not love me because there's a part of me that's ugly or not accepting, or you're gonna judge me on that. You're gonna run away from me. So if you could just not be afraid and just to be yourself, it's hard. That's why we don't love each other.
Do you think people set expectations on each other?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm getting more nervous now.
Do you think people can have love without having spirituality?
Love is a part of spirituality. No, they cannot.
It's one and the same?
Yes.
So Miranda, how old are you?
22.
22, and where are you from?
Israel.
Israel?
Yeah.
Have you ever been in love?
Of course, many times.
Many times?
Yeah.
How can you be in love more than one time?
Well, it really depends what you consider being in love. Like, if being in love for you is just thinking about the same person constantly, or like sharing something with somebody. So it really depends what you consider being in love. But it's like, I don't know, it's like when you eat, when you're full and then you get hungry again. So it's the same. Sometimes you love somebody and then you get full, or it's not working and then you just meet somebody else.
So you're saying that sometimes you feel like you're in love with someone and then maybe you get tired of them, or you had enough of them and you're full, or...
No, I'm just saying that that can happen, and when it happens, so you just move on to the next person.
So have you lived in you come from Israel? Were you born here, or you just...
I came from Israel.
And do you find people's definition in Israel of love different than, people here?
I think it's the same.
You think it's the same?
Yeah, like when you're in love, you're in love.
I've heard love to be like the highest level of understanding between two people. Do you believe that that's what borns love? People really understanding each other?
I think love is the biggest confusion you have in life. It's the most foggy and not understandable thing, and it's just a big burst of vibrations and energy.
And where are you from, Steve?
I guess I'm from New York at this point. I've been living here for 11 years now, and originally was from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Anyone in Pennsylvania you were in love with?
Not really, to tell you the truth. I think I started to fall in love more when I was in college in Boston, and then in Brazil when I lived in Rio for a while, and then here in New York a couple of times also.
And what was that like for you?
Usually started out very passionate and wound up in absolute disasters, unmitigated disasters. But I guess that's the nature of it, is that you go through these things, and you and what love is the ability to find within yourself what it is that's good about you, and that you can express with someone new, even going through the heartache and the pain and the disasters that go along with it.
So why do you think that is for you, that you seem to fall in love for short, periods of time?
Well, they weren't short periods of time. I mean, I'm 33. They were, usually 5 years apiece. So, I mean, I guess what I think is that, and this is what I was, getting at before when you guys were walking by, is that I think when I was in college, there was a really sage professor of mine who had some good ideas about love, and maybe it addresses what you're saying about, the length of time that it lasts, or what the nature of it really is. He said that when we talk about love, we usually talk about falling in love, right? It's almost like this giving yourself up, abandoning yourself. You're falling, you're plunging into this thing, into the unknown, which is really this mystery of somebody, right? And what you're really feeling at that time is a connection with that person, like you're one person, because you're projecting a lot of what you're feeling inside yourself onto that person. And as you begin to discover who they really are, you learn that as that infatuation wears away, that's the real nature of love, is when you actually encounter the obstacle and you realize that we're not the same, that we're actually different, and you have to get past each obstacle. So sort of overcoming difficulties, to me, is what real love is about. It's commitment, it's devotion.
So it sounds to me like you're saying a lot of times people have put expectations on other people, and when they find out that people don't, meet to their requirements, people seem to get like disenchanted with the whole love process.
I guess so. I think unlike maybe what some other people think about love, I think of love as that which persists, that which survives, right? So you can say that you loved somebody for a certain period of time, and if you become disenchanted with it, what that love is something that you carry inside yourself from then on. It's the memory of it, right? But then there's that love that lasts forever, that meets every obstacle and overcomes it. And I guess then in the end, it's not a matter of disenchantment, it's a matter of just death that ends it.
Steve, are you in love right now?
I am, tragically though.
Why are you saying tragic?
I'm in love with somebody with severe mental problems, and somebody who the discipline of loving her means not knowing what to expect each day. It's sort of a Zen lesson, because I have to understand that everything changes at every moment. So it's that pure kind of love where you just say, I love you, not because of what you give me, but because of who you are, and because I care about you, I care about your story, and I just want to help.
So you have somewhat fear of the unknown? Like you say, you don't know what's tomorrow going to bring with this person?
There's no way to know. It did for a long time. Now I guess I just accept it with resignation. It's painful because confusion is probably the most difficult thing to live with, right? I'd rather know that I was going to die tomorrow than to wonder, what's coming next, right? But I guess in time you learn that to just be in the moment. It's almost like I say, like a Zen lesson, like be in the moment, be centered, be the best person that you could be within yourself, and just try to contribute to this person's life that you love.